Welcome back to One Piece.
Welcome back to One Piece Grand Adventure. Remember that, Frank? Remember?
I remember when we did that series.
Pokes.
I think we've done more episodes talking about it than there were episodes of that series.
Yeah. We should do it again. That's to be the next Frank series. I've decided it for you.
One Piece Grand Adventure.
That'll be Mabini's introduction.
One Piece Grand Adventure was basically pretty much what got us to start doing same industries and doing like the console series. Doing like Wind Waker and Mario Party and Banjo Nuts and Bolts. Like we started doing all that and all because of One Piece Grand Adventure.
So the thing I wanted to talk about with just in terms of One Piece's surrealness is that, especially if you've never really watched a shonen before other than maybe Yu-Gi-Oh!
Yeah.
Is I was just thinking about the live action, right? Because the live action is very, very popular, not only with people who like One Piece, but also people who've never heard of it before. Like, it's been a lot of people's introduction to it.
Okay.
And I was watching it and I was thinking, like, the thing about the live action is it's a lot more palatable than I think the main stuff. And again, the only reason I'm bringing this up is like I just don't want you to be like, why does this guy wear this weird outfit for no reason, you know, and just get hung up on stuff like that.
But I'm also aware of JoJo as well. I've never seen JoJo, but I'm also aware that JoJo's like that. So
JoJo's a lot less palatable than.
Yeah, because like I think Liam posted a video which was like JoJo without context or something. Well, and I posted some sort of comment that was like, "This is really weird without context," and Frank's like, "It's pretty weird with context."
Yeah. Well, that's JoJo.
Yeah.
JoJo is way weirder than One Piece.
Yeah.
By the way, also Steel Ball Run's first episode came out. I have not watched it. I've heard it's good. And there he goes. Did you watch it?
Why are their shoes made out of butter?
Good answer.
Yes, I have watched it. It is pretty good.
I was kind of expecting people to be like slightly disappointed by it because I kind of hold the belief that the beginning of Steel Ball Run's kind of boring. But maybe that's just me.
I mean, it like the very beginning is slow, but this like 2-part episode is the entire like first stage of the race.
Oh, okay, well that's good because the first stage of the race is like the worst part. It's kind of crazy that they're only doing one episode at a time. Though.
No, it's supposed to be batches. They only did one batch for this 2-part, which is
really? Because I was looking on Netflix, it said one.
Yeah, it's just a one. Oh my god, it's a singular 40-minute episode.
Anyway, going back to One Piece. Oh, and I haven't watched Steel Ball Run yet. I'm too One Piece pilled right now to think about JoJo. I will watch it eventually. Probably, maybe when the whole show's out. So my only thought was like maybe you'd want to start with the live action just because it's a little bit more palatable. But if you're willing to fully jump into it, I'm
yeah. Well, like I've seen the anime before, but I've only seen the 4Kids version. So I want to see. I want to see it from the start because I don't think I really saw the start. I just saw. I remember seeing this one. I don't know if it was an episode, if it was like a couple episodes where they rocked up at this island and there's stuff happened. And is it Zoro who's the one with the blue hair and the sword?
He has green
hairs and the swords.
Yeah. He did some stuff. He was important at that one for some reason.
He does be doing stuff. Yeah. That's so damn true.
And then he had a face off against someone, and yeah, that was a thing that happened. So.
Well, all right. Then yeah, we should definitely do that. Where do you plan on watching it? I think that the first I
think Frank was talking about recording arcs.
Yeah, I think most of it's on Netflix. I don't know if you've got Netflix.
No.
I think they don't have like.
Well, I don't know what
stuff, but
Frank was thinking about how we were going to do it.
Oh, thank God! Get me the fuck out of here.
Oh, good job.
Yay, good job.
In my opinion, the ideal viewing experience for One Piece is you watch the anime just as it is for up until like an arc called, I'd say, between Water 7 and Enies Lobby. Then you want to swap to a show called a fan edit called One Piece.
Yeah.
Now I know that that's got to sound like, oh man, do I have to? But trust me when I tell you, like the pacing becomes atrocious.
Yeah, you guys have talked about Frank talked about One Piece in Minecraft, talking about watching One Piece and how they just keep on. What do you call it? They have something like filler episodes.
Well, it's actually worse than that because what they do is they have filler, like padding portions, where like for example, say that there's like two people like wrestling with each other and they're like gripping each other's hands and they're trying to push each other like away or whatever. Sometimes in One Piece they will stretch that action out for like 10 minutes and it will be insane.
Yeah.
The thing about One Piece to keep in mind though is it is a mixed bag. sometimes when they're trying to be more faithful to like pacing, it does lessen some moments sometimes, so that's always something to keep in mind. What you could do is just watch the anime, and if you go, oh, I've seen this before, or you think it's taking like way too long, you could just skim the video. Like just tap the right arrow key.
I mean, for the first little while, just watch the anime because the pacing's fine at the start there.
I mean, the pacing is basically perfectly fine
reason-
until after the time skip is when it starts to get bad.
I think around Annie's lobby is when it starts getting bad. Because one of the examples, because I know you're talking about that scene in Wano that they
Yes,
the
it's
One
something
Piece
like that,
YouTube
yeah.
channel place. The one of the ones that they also have is in Annie's lobby. There's like a 5-minute segment where Luffy's running up and down the stairs for no reason because he's lost. Like that's another example. So I think around then is when you can probably swap over. But anyway, the thing is that that's something you don't have to worry about until later. For now, like I don't know if you get it on Netflix or whatever, but yeah. The first few arcs, by the way, they're very short, so I don't know.
Yeah, that's why, to go back to what Mabini was starting with, I had suggested that starting, we'll probably do the first 2 arcs together, because I think that's only like 5 episodes. And then the 2 after that can probably be their own, like just by themselves. And it's not really going to be until like Alabasta that we're going to have to start like breaking them, I think.
I'm keen to do it one way or the other. I just wanted to kind of, brush out the minutiae, as it were, because I think it'd be exciting. Like I really want to talk about One Piece. It's kind of to bring it around to what I was saying. It's ironic that like I have these videos that have sat on for so long that they might become irrelevant if we do this series. I might just have to scrap them all together. You'll never hear those thoughts on One Piece.
Frank was talking about making recordings or something. That would be how I would watch it.
Hello? Oh, right. So, like, what normally people do with this kind of stuff, like, if we wanted to make content out of it, they set up their, like, what they're doing, and then kind of like a podcast style, they would get together, and then... Because in this case, it'll be the same, too, where one of them is, like, a One Piece version that hasn't seen it before. So it's kind of like mostly, like, talking about your thoughts, and then if you don't pick up something, like, interesting, one of us will usually have notes, and they'll be like, oh, yeah, and then this happened. Like, this was, like, either cool or, whatever, like, our thoughts on something. But it's mainly designed to be, like, the impressions of the person going in blind. Or, relatively.
Yeah.
So it'll be more of a focus on just Mabini's thoughts.
Yeah, and then it'll be, like, also...
Maybe my videos can live up.
I mean, usually it's just, like, what, are you fucking kidding?
What
are
the...
you kidding me?
Okay. Chainsaw Omega. Chainsaw Omega, don't do it with Fly.
But yeah, it wasn't Fly. It wasn't Fly.
What the fuck?
It wasn't. But yeah, it's usually like the blind person's kind of the front runner, and then when they bring up like a moment, usually the other people would then put their input on that moment too, if they have anything to add.
Okay. I'd be happy to watch it again. By the way, I know I watched it last year, and I've read the manga like 3 times, but I'm always happy to keep.
I've been meaning to rewatch it, so like this would be.
Don't go in the center one.
Yeah.
If this game, it put me in the center one. It put me in the center one. That time it just put me in the center one.
People always complain that the loops are just automated sequences. Well, guess what?
Modern problems require modern
There you go. I also got to get caught up on the manga again because I was kind of waiting for season 2 of the live action to drop, and now that it has, it's like I gotta get back into it. I've heard there's been some yet more big reveals.
Yeah, it's been.
I read the first.
It's like late stage One Piece, so like almost every chapter, if not every 2 chapters, is some big ass fucking information thing or like mystery answer or new mystery.
You say that it's like a bad
no.
thing.
I'm just saying, it's the status quo.
I got up to like a little, like, I don't know, if the first, like 10 chapters of Elbath. I suppose we also could talk about the live action as well. Obviously, we won't spoil anything.
Is it, so... Is it like its own thing? Is it faithful to the manga or?
It is. And I have things to talk about the live action in this sense, but in some regards, it's quite faithful to like Oda's like if he were to look back at how he did the original run, they will add details that he like he works with the cast or like the writers. So he'll put in things. He's
been very involved with that live action, so it's very
that
much
should have been on screen, and or like things that happened later in the anime can be retroactively added in.
Go to the front
because it makes sense. Hello, can you get fucking shocked? Thank you. Late in the show, it might be like a revelation happens, but then for the live action, it'll be like a thing will be in the background because technically speaking, like during this episode, that thing would have happened. So you kind of get to see that for like the manga readers, the people who already know what happens.
Well, there's that, but there's also the live action. It's done a few things where it's made it more. They've changed the structure a little bit to obviously fit like a proper like TV show, as opposed to you know, a shonen manga. I don't want to spoil too much.
Things take a long time in the manga, but would take like no time in a TV show.
Well, there's that, but also like in season 1, for instance, they do the same in season 2. But in season 1, they introduce a character who isn't actually introduced until like hundreds of chapters into the manga. They introduce him right at the beginning, and then they kind of have him serve as this like overarching sort of I guess antagonistic threat, you could call him, but it's done in a way that it just makes it like a better narrative, a better story. I think that it, like I personally think that it worked. I think the addition of that character was just like making it more of like the I guess the season itself like a series of television, right? Where like they introduce this character right at the beginning, then they kind of build him up throughout the season, and then at the very end of the season, the characters clash, and then there's a conclusion, and then it's
Yeah, I think it was actually slightly worse.
Structured like an actual show
this season than the first season. Oh hello.
Really?
Oh hello. Oh hello. Oh. Okay.
But those are the kind of things you can expect to see in the live action, where like they've taken a few liberties to make it a better watching experience for like the casual audience. Whereas in One Piece, there's a lot of stuff where like this character, doesn't get introduced until 1,000 chapters later, or this character gets talked about and then never seen again until like 1,000 chapters later. You know what I mean? Whereas the show is taking a bit more consideration into like constructing a narrative that will fit within a season, as opposed to a narrative that goes over the course of 20 years. I don't know if anything I'm saying makes sense, but
I just keep zoning in and out.
Cool, man. Thanks.
I'm trying not to let my blood boil, so sorry.
I'm watching Frank. I'm just like watching Frank and thinking about other stuff.
Well, whatever. Anyway, I think we should organize to do this One Piece.
Yeah.
I think it'd be fun.
And then obviously we have to be like way more careful talking about the live action right now, because as Liam was saying, these things get introduced much later in the show if you're just watching the anime. So if you were to start with the live action, you actually get spoiled on a lot of shit if you then immediately swap over to the anime. Because no one will talk about.
Spoiled is a strong word.
There is a
spoiler a spoiler would be telling you what fucking Vegapunk said at the end of Egghead. Okay, that's a spoiler that ruins would just affect all of One Piece. Seeing a character earlier than you should is not a huge deal. Anyway, Mabini says he wants to watch the anime anyway.
Yes.
So
yeah,
perhaps once he gets far into the anime and he's like, I want to check out the live action, that can be its own series.
Yeah,
it'd be like a special week where it's like we go over the live action on our thoughts on it compared to the anime or whatever. Some shows will do like the whole shebang, so they'll also cover like movies and like OVAs and stuff like that, but we don't really have to do that, I don't think.
I have watched like all the One Piece movies.
I've watched one of them. 2 of them. I've watched 3.
I hunted down those like ancient movies that are impossible to find and watched them, and they were like not really worth my time.
Alright, next time on Losing in Minigames.